Hey everyone, Katie here, and I wanted to share with you my top 10 tips about how to create and successfully run your own vlog. So let's get started. So what's the deal with the blog, right? Why have one? Well, think of your blog or your website as an unpaid salesperson working for you 24/7. Someone working for you while you're sleeping or on vacation? I'll take it. Your blog is really a way to showcase you and develop a deeper connection with your customers. You're branding yourself and your uniqueness in the marketplace. What are some unique qualities about you? Are you a good listener? Are you bold and upfront and you never sugarcoat anything? Well, right now, someone out there just like you is searching for the answer. Something that you've already figured out. And they just want someone to connect with, someone that understands them. So don't ever undervalue your story or your uniqueness, because somebody out there needs your help. They need the answers that you have. So when they come to your blog, don't hold back. You want to let them know that they came to the right place and that you're there to help them. How to get started? Well, you can sign up for an account on blogger.com or wordpress.org, whatever you're more comfortable with. Honestly, it really comes down to personal preference. WordPress.org you can do a little bit more with, but either way, once you set up your account, both sites offer tons of free training. And you can always check out YouTube for lots of videos on all of the technical stuff. Time to get down to business. I'm ready to share my top 10, spirit fingers, 10 tips on how to successfully run your blog. Are you guys ready? Let's go. Tip number 1. I'm so excited. Tip number 1. Be yourself. Always be you. People are very intuitive, even if it's over the internet. So you want to make sure that you're relaying your distinct tone and voice in your writing. What makes you you? You know, always add your personality to everything that you're doing, because people can tell if you're BSing them. And if you're just writing boring facts about Shakeology, well, that's not very interesting either. The truth is, facts tell and stories sell. I know, good, right? That's not mine, but anyway, so share with your bloggers or your readers, or as I like to call them, your new friends, why you got into the business in the first place, how you got started with Beachbody, and what's your bigger vision for this? You have a bigger vision, right? I know I do. Simply put, what makes you better, different, or more awesome than other coaches? Share the real you. Be real, be genuine, be authentic, and let people truly get to know you. They'll appreciate that. Tell them what you believe in, what you value. Trust me, you want to do this because you'll start to attract customers and coaches who work best with you, which will do wonders for your business and your sanity. Tip number 2. This is the big one. If you do nothing else, do tip number 2. You want to identify your ideal customer. So why is this so important? Well, without identifying your ideal customer, your marketing is going to be generic and ineffective. That even just sounds gross. But once you've identified your ideal target audience, you're going to have clarity about who you're talking to, which means you're going to attract customers that are perfect for you. You'll convert more, you'll communicate more effectively, and it will actually start to be fun. I mean, who knew? Work could be fun. Craziness, right? Those deeper connections are going to give you more than the monetary value. You'll actually develop some friendships and hopefully find people that you want in your business. You really want to find your niche, but it goes beyond finding your niche. This is really digging deep and dialing it down until you have one specific target customer in mind. And that is the person you want to get in their head. You want to understand their thoughts, their emotions, their fears, what's in their heart. If you want to connect effectively, you need to get in their shoes. Live life through their eyes. Don't just think that you know what they want. Actually start to think like them. And to start this process, you really need to sit down and listen to your customers. Whether it's online or in person, sit down, really listen. Get to know them. Take the time to learn more about them. When your customer sees that you understand their desires and that you have a vision for them, they will realize that you can help them get to their goals. And by showing them that you understand what they're going through and their fears and their concerns, they'll realize that Beachbody can be a solution for them as well. So it's going to develop that deep trust with your customer when they finally come to the point that they understand you get them inside and out. And maybe even you get them better than they get themselves, because it's always easier to see someone else from the outside. So be that solution for them. Develop that deep trust. What does the deep trust mean for you? Well, it means more sales, repeat customers, and a long-standing successful business. So I know what you're thinking. Well, Katie, how do I identify this magical ideal customer? Well, you want to think about your customers right now and think about what they all have in common. Think about every demographic: age, income, gender, marital status, and then think about what are their values, what are their beliefs, their lifestyle, their hobbies, things like that. So you want to roll all those traits into one hypothetical person and think about that person's life. Actually give that person a name and a hair color and a gender and a life. So what kind of TV shows does that person like? What kind of magazines? What kind of books do they like? What's their guilty pleasure? Maybe what's their favorite food? You know, what do they think about themselves? What do they fear? What do they worry about? What are their dreams? What is their vision for their life? What would absolutely thrill them if it happened, if it came true? Think about that. Think about how they view the world. Think about how they interact with others. Now, how do they feel about you? How do they feel about Beachbody? How do they feel about the products and services that you have to offer them? So when you're blogging, you want to speak to this person. Speak to those fears, speak to those concerns, speak to those dreams, speak to those interests and hobbies, and develop that deeper connection with someone that understands you. And you're going to understand this person inside and out. When you start talking to these people and you're that tuned in to your audience, you'll feel like you've known these people forever. And that's how you build a deep connection. Tip number 3 is all about offering valuable content. So you want to include things on your blog that are interesting and that people actually want to read. Make sure that you keep your ideal customer from tip number 2 in mind as you're writing about things. Make it your own. You know, use the research that you're doing for your own goals, your own fitness, your own nutrition, and then write how that relates to you or what you found interesting about it. You want to make it something that people actually want to go to your blog for, that they're excited about, or that your ideal customer would have Googled or searched for. Tip number 4, it's all about consistency. Be reliable. Set a realistic goal for how often you're going to update your blog, and then here's the hard part. Stick with it. I know, right? It's like crazy. Set it as part of your agenda. Schedule it into your Google Calendar, whatever you have to do. But stick with what you set out to do. If it's once a month, if it's twice a month, once a week, every day, just make sure you're consistent. Your readers or your followers will figure out or learn your blogging patterns, and if you're sporadic, they're going to lose interest. They'll stop checking back. So make sure you're consistent. If the inspiration or creative bug strikes you and you have 5 awesome blog posts that you want to write right now, post 1 and then schedule the other 5 per your regular scheduling or posting frequency. So you don't have to post all of them at once. Utilize the awesome tools on the websites. You can also use something called an editorial calendar where you kind of plan out what post you want to write ahead of time. So you can write that topic ahead of time in your calendar and you'll know on that date that's what you're going to write about. That's also a great way to keep track of some blog posts or topics that you find interesting. Just don't get disheartened in the beginning if you're not getting a lot of views or hits. Remember that it takes about 6 months to a year to build some traction and really build a great following. So this can be challenging, I know, I get it, but trust me, we all started with 0 views when we started our blogs. So yes, it is challenging, but do not use that as an excuse. This right here, no excuse zone. We don't want to hear it. Everyone's been there. You can figure it out. I have faith in you. You just need to remember that blogging is a marathon race, not a sprint. Tip number 5, you want to keep a running idea list. So you can use a program like Evernote, Google Documents, Word, whatever works for you to keep a running list of ideas for blog posts. So if you ever run out of inspiration, you can go to your list. That way you're never stuck for a post idea. Anytime a customer asks you a question, that's a great topic to add to the list because if one person asks, you know there's a ton others that are too afraid to. If you still need inspiration after that, you can check out sites like Delicious, Reddit, StumbleUpon, or Blog Loving for ideas. If you still have nothing, stalk Facebook, see what people are talking about, or eavesdrop on a conversation in the grocery store. Tip number 6, you want to link all social media and remind customers to bookmark or follow your blog. So you really want to make it easy for customers to connect and contact you. You can add social media buttons to your blog that would link them to your Facebook, Twitter account, YouTube, all of that good stuff. Likewise, you also want to make sure that you're reminding customers to bookmark or follow your blog so they can come back later. Have you ever stumbled upon an awesome website only to lose it and never find it again? So you can remind them somewhere on the blog, have an email subscription set up for them, or just simply say, hey, do you like what you see? Make sure you bookmark me. Tip number 7, promoting and getting the word out. So how are people going to find your blog, right? You might want to do a little bit of research on SEO, which stands for Search Engine Optimization. And basically, that's going to help your blog come up more often if people do a Google search for the topics that you've covered. But if you're already posting valuable content to your ideal customer, this shouldn't be too much of a problem, especially for the scale that we're working on. You want to make sure that you're also adding your blog to sites like Delicious, Reddit, StumbleUpon, Blog Lovin', Pinterest. You don't have to hit them all, but obviously the more links to your blog that are out there for people to find, the better. You can also share your blog links for each individual post with your Facebook and Twitter fans, but always make it something interesting that people want to click on and they want to read. If you're offering valuable and interesting content, people will do the sharing for you. If you share a great recipe, for example, that can get spread on Facebook and people are sharing it with their friends and friends of friends and friends. And that's been a huge success for me. So I highly recommend finding those things that interest you and that interest the people that you're trying to market to, and they'll do the sharing for you. Tip number 8, ask Google. Did you guys know that Google knows everything? Like, I'm not kidding, it knows everything. Ask it any question and I guarantee you it will come up with an answer. With how many free training sites and YouTube videos there are on blogging, you should never have to ask another blogger for tips on how to run your blog because you simply type it in and the answer is there right in front of you. So if you're wondering how to do something, Google it. How do you think I learned? Google. Thanks, Google. Tip number 9, keep it simple. As far as visuals go, you want to keep your blog or your website pretty simple. Nice design, easy to navigate. Do you guys know that websites have something like 5 seconds to make an impression upon someone? It's like literally the difference between somebody reading your blog and clicking next. So you want to make it something that's easy to read, simple, nice presentation, and looks good. Check out popular blogs for some design ideas, and don't get too widget happy. I know we love them, but be careful. You've been warned. I can't believe we're at the end. Tip number 10. Can you guys believe it? That went so fast. So I just want to tell you guys, thank you for sticking with me for so long. The last tip of the day, last blogging tip, is to be flexible and to always be learning. I don't think I need to tell you guys how fast things change, or, you know, who knows what the next Facebook is going to be, or like Pinterest or something crazy like that. So always keep your eyes peeled for new training and new ideas. Don't get too stuck on a blog idea as far as design goes. I've changed my blog 100 times, at least, minimum. I'm always looking for ways to improve and ways to get better. So don't get too rigid in your ways. Make sure that you're always staying flexible, always learning, and always checking out what's going on in the blog world or with some of your favorite websites to get ideas. Keep it nice, fresh, simple, and updated for your customers. So go out there and get started. And the best advice I can give, even though it's not on the top 10, is start before you're ready. We all have to learn somewhere, and the only way to get better at anything is to practice. What kind of blogger would I be if I didn't promote my own blog? So if you need ideas, you can check mine out at katieheffner.blogspot.com. Let me know what you think. Get out there. Go get them. Go team. Woo! Bye, guys.